Welcome, everyone. Hello. It is so good to see you guys. I am Dolores. So happy that you guys decided to join me with Read With Me, number 6, where we're reading the fabulous wisdom filled book Unstoppable by Dr. Cindy Trimm. It is such a pleasure to be here with you guys. I'm glad for whoever you are that joined me. Thank you so much. And you know what? We're not going to waste any time. We left off on page number 70, and we're going to begin right away. We're going to get right into it. She talked to us about core values and then also changing our mindsets to positive thinking. Literally connecting with our core values and making sure that those core values are positive, positive, positive. I said it 3 times, positive, right? Okay, so we're going to continue reading on page number 70. Okay, it says, as you adjust your mindset and refocus your vision, remember the feeling uncomfortable is part of the journey. Don't be afraid of the emotional hurdles and the psychological brick walls that may seem to keep you from moving forward. Randy Persh, author of The Last Lecture, with only a few months to live, said, the brick walls are there for a reason, right? The brick walls are not there to keep us out. The brick walls are there to give us a chance to show how badly we want something. Because the brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. Okay. She says they're there to stop the other people. Wow. Lean in. Taking those me moments allows you to exhale, breathe in the air of fresh perspective, reset, rejuvenize, refocus. A well spent me moment has the power to re-innovate. Wow. I'm sorry, I said that wrong, but that's a good word too. Rejuvenate, she says, and refocus. Wow. And enable you to move forward in the manner you might not have thought possible. Sometimes catching your second win will help you achieve your win. This is what me moments are all about. Taking that me moment, taking a second for yourself. Wait a minute, let me reevaluate my core values and make sure my thought process and my thinking is correct. Okay, it's positive because we learned that if it's negative, those negative thoughts and the thought pattern will play itself out. Okay, let's continue. Make yourself a priority. It's important to take time regularly to find your center, to remember who you are and what is important to you. Take time alone to meditate by yourself. Sit quietly. Meditate, she says. Pray, plan, recharge, and just rethink. Quiet your mind so you can hear what your soul is wanting to say. Wow. The trouble is, most people try to take me moments with other people. Okay? It's not we moments, but me moments. How many times have you asked a friend or a colleague for advice rather than sorting through tough issues on your own or looking inward within ourselves for answers? Your friend has her own issues and doesn't even know where she's going. She can't really help you, but you can bet that she'll offer up some suggestions on how you should get where you want to go. And why not? It's easier to brainstorm solutions to someone else's problems than to deal with your own. Wow. Let me tell you something. If people don't know where they're going in life, they're not in a position to show you the way. We need to understand that. Okay? So she says on Numbers, page number 71. So the first thing to remember about a me moment is that it should be spent in solitude. Just as no one else has the authority to determine your identity, no one else can determine the path you should take to becoming your best self. Wow, that's good. Okay. So let's go a little bit further here. You will get much further faster if you rely not on what others tell you, but upon your own insights, self knowledge, inspiration, and instinct. When you are alone, you can think your own thoughts without input from other people. Wow, that is really good. Let me adjust my string here just a little bit. Okay, let's continue. If you rely not on what others tell you, but upon your own insights, self knowledge, inspiration, and instinct, when you are alone, you can think your own thoughts without input from other people, the television, internet, radio, or any other external source. Not everyone likes to hear that me moments must be taken alone. Some people equate solitude with loneliness. Others are afraid of what they might learn about themselves when all of the world's distractions are removed. But if you can find the courage to spend some quiet time alone, I promise that even brief times of solitude will strengthen you. Let's keep it simple. She says, set aside an hour a day a week in a month, or a week every quarter to spend alone. Just you, your thoughts, and your journal. Make time to think through a difficult situation, to create plans for your future, to reflect on your core values. Remember who you are and refocus on where you want to go. I know you want to be strong and well equipped to fight for what is important to you. That's why you're reading this book. Oh, that's so good. Wow. She says, that's why you're reading this book. Okay. We're trying to get these secrets out of here, right? And put them within ourselves and begin reacting on them. Okay. Using these simple strategies will prepare you for the battle before it happens. They will empower you to deal with challenges before they arise. Page number 72. Continues, says, winning action. What one change will you make today? In this chapter, we've discussed the importance of your choices, your thoughts, and your willingness to take 100% responsibility for your life. Wow. Occasionally, you will be faced with monumental decisions, a marriage proposal, or an opportunity to buy, sell, or start a business. For example, at those times, you, of course, want to carefully weigh your options and make wise choices. But those moments of a major decision, she says, are few compared to the little choices you must make on a daily basis, right? The cumulative effect of which can cause major consequences. While those life altering decisions are important, they are no more crucial than the thousands of tiny choices you make each day, each and every day, she says. Tiny choices, those that seem negotiable at the time, shape the course of your life. Just as the smallest turn of the rudder changes the direction of a massive ship. Even minor adjustments or micro shifts, right, in your daily decisions, all of which happen at the speed of thought, can yield to dramatic results. Here's the question. I want you to consider, what one thing can you change that will change everything? What attitude, thought pattern, belief, or behavior, if changed, stopped, improved, or tweaked, could make your life more fulfilling and rewarding? Mhm. Could you, for example, choose to respond rather than react? Hold your tongue instead of speak from anger or speaking from anger or frustration. Make a shopping list and stick to it. Create an action plan for the day and follow it. Read or listen to something inspiring. Be mindful of what you eat rather than snacking thoughtlessly or going without food all day. There's more. Establish a daily ritual, such as a morning meditation or affirmations. Set aside 10% of your earnings without fail. Make a budget that you don't deviate from. Institute a regular date night with you and your significant other. Go to bed and get up every day at a set time. That's one I need. Okay? None of these choices seem major, but each, if practiced constantly, could make a significant impact on the results you achieve. It's like the age old item. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Every choice, thought, action, and step has the power to lead you closer to the life you desire. You may need to make several changes to get to your ultimate destination. But as you'll learn in chapter 5, habits are just one pivotal action in order to make that one powerful change. She says, that one change I will make that could change everything is dot, dot, dot. We are to fill in the end of that. Okay? Section 2. Let's continue. Page 75. Weird to win. Wired, I'm sorry. Wired. That was bad. Wired to win. You are wired to win, she says. Define your game, embrace the challenge, and strive to understand yourself in deeper and more meaningful ways. Gary John Bishop. Okay. In the previous section, you looked inward to discover what makes you unique, what your core values are, and how you can tap in to your authentic power by creating a winning mindset. Now, we're going to talk about interpersonal authenticity, how to remain true to yourself in every interaction you have, even with others, both in your personal and professional life. First, you'll learn how understanding your personality style and unique strengths can enable you to communicate more authentically while allowing others to be themselves as well. You'll learn a bit about why you think and behave the way you do, and you'll have the opportunity to begin aligning your values, wow, with your virtues so you can live stronger and less stress, she says, and frustration. Then, because behavior drives results, we'll discuss how to intentionality shapes habits that support who you want to be. Page number 76. The reality is that knowing and doing are very different things. That's why chapter 5 is devoted to helping you learn how to break old behavior habits and patterns that are holding you back and integrate new habits that support your goals. Once you know how you are uniquely wired and which habits you may want to change or rewire, we'll begin looking at how you present yourself to the world. She says authenticity is about knowing and honoring your identity. Transparency is about allowing others to see the real you. How much should you share? What scares you about letting people look behind the curtain? In the closing chapter of this section, we'll look at why transparency wins every time. Humans are meant to live in community. How many people you allow in your circle will depend on your personality. The depth and significance of those relationships, be they few or many, will be determined by how you interact with others. Hide your real self, and you're sure to meet with disappointments in the race of life. I'm going to read that one again. Hide your real self, she says, and you'd sure meet with disappointment in the race of life. But if you can find the courage to live authentically and transparently, winning is within your grasp. Wow. Page number 77. Let's continue with winning character. The very essence of happiness is honestly sincerity and truthfulness. Orison Sweet Martin. Okay. There is perhaps nothing more frustrating or infuriating than seeing a lie paraded, and worse yet, accepted as truth. On December 11th, 2008, the FBI arrested Bernie Madoff for securities fraud. You probably watched as news reports of this incredible Ponzi scheme unfolded in the media. Thousands upon thousands of investors lost an estimated of 50 billion as a result of Madoff's deception. For almost 2 decades, Madoff took people's money, promising to invest it for substantial gains. Instead, he pocketed huge sums and used the rest to keep his scam afloat. He sent a client's regular fake reports on how their money had fared in the market. Happy with what they saw, many repeatedly invested their money with him and based their financial futures on the lies of those reports. Wow. A few people suspected that Murdoch's claims were too good to be true. Harry Macopoulos, a certified fraud examiner and chartered financial analyst, didn't simply suspect Madoff's business wasn't above board. He knew in an attempt to stop Murdoch's illegal and fraudulent dealings, Markopoulos submitted evidence to the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, 5 times between May 2000 and April 2008. In this book, No One Would Listen, Markopoulos states, that's good. Page number 78. I was a whistleblower taking on one of the most powerful men on Wall Street. And at some points through the night, Marsh's journey, I feared for both my safety and that of my family's. I was convinced that the crime he was committing was going to be the worst in market history. 10 years later, Madoff is now behind bars, and we all know why, she says. For the better part of a decade, Markopoulos watched innocent people buy into the lies, while regulators repeatedly ignored his warnings. And when Madoff finally confessed to running the Ponzi scheme, Markopoulos didn't feel vindicated. To the contrary, he told New York Magazine, I was a 50 billion failure. Why would people think I feel good about this? People think I'm a hero, but I didn't stop him, he says. He stopped himself. Lies can do so much damage that even when the truth is ultimately revealed, we don't feel like celebrating. We feel exhausted, angry, or both. If I take care of my character, my reputation will take care of itself. D.L. Moody. So what do Madoff and Markopoulos have to do with you? Madoff used his charm and communication skills to take advantage of others. He promised one thing and did the opposite. Markopoulos experienced intense frustration because he saw a lie perpetuated, as truth. I seriously doubt you're involved in a situation or horrific situation as horrific as Maddox's scam. But I do wonder if you are in any way attempting to fool others by pretending to be something you aren't. Now, please know I'm not accusing you of nefarious or malicious activity, she says. No, the types of untruths I'm talking about harm you more than anyone else. In the previous 3 chapters, you invested time in discovering who you are, what really matters to you, and what your core values, page 79, are. I hope by now you have a clearer image in mind of the person you want to be. By knowing the truth about yourself and actually living from that truth are two very different things. It's easy to put up a front when you're faced with direct opposition or a knowledge or even suspicion that by living authentically, you face the risk of rejection. Sad note, knowledge must become action if you are going to experience the winning life you desire. This chapter is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. This is where knowledge must become action if you are going to experience the winning life you deserve, she says. Very often, people begin self improvement plans with excellent intentions. They read personal development books and find the information they need to succeed. From the comfort of their reading chair, they get energized and excited about their potential. Then comes the real world test when it's time to put what they know into action. And as I mentioned in chapter 2, behaving in a way that is incongruent with your values, beliefs, identity, inevitable results in stress, guilt, frustration, resentment, and even anger. In essence, if you aren't living authentically, you're living a lie. Incongruence between one's deepest desires and behaviors isn't uncommon behavior. Is wow is often a response, she says, to our perception of others' expectations. Since you have, I hope, determined to master your mindset and live more authentically, the next step is to set your own expectations for your actions. Set the bar at nothing less than your very best. Communication or communicating authentically in a complex world. Understanding how you are wired to interact with others can help you stay true to your authentic self. Recognizing that your wiring, your communication style, and motivators is likely different from that of your friends, colleagues, and family members can improve those relationships and help you manage the expectations. Wow. Page number 80. You have for others. If you are a leader, understanding your own personality and behavior style, as well as what drives your team members, is especially empowering. It's like having the inside scoop. You'll be able not only to perform better, but also to draw out the best from those around you. One of the most widely used tools for determining behavioral styles is the DISC profile. The DISC profile was originally proposed by William Marston in his 1926 book entitled Emotions of Normal People. Since that time, the DISC profile and assessment tests have been refined and adapted. She says today there are several available versions that measure personality and behavioral style with surprisingly accuracy, each describing the four main behavioral types, including dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. What the DISC profile doesn't do is measure intelligence, values, aptitude, or mental health. It is also important to note that no one's behavioral style is preferably over another. Every style has its advantages, and any person with any style can learn to harness his or her strengths to win. So, as we look at the four main personality types in the pages ahead, be honest with yourself about your style and your natural tendencies. If you find yourself thinking, I wish I was like that, stop and remind yourself that you are uniquely designed and gifted with the attributes that are perfect for you. Okay. Side note, you are uniquely designed, I'm going to say it again, and gifted with the attributes that are perfect for you. Let's continue. Determine right now to use your style, whatever it may be, to maximize your own unique potential. Okay, now she's listing a couple here. Dominant. What's the bottom line? Get to the point. Let's act now. Page number 81. Do these phrases sound like anyone you know? People who are driven to act quickly and decisively, have dominance as their primary personality style. This doesn't necessarily mean these assertive, determined personality types want to dominate others, but they aren't, interested in going with the flow. Their chief goals are personal control and independence. Competition and challenge motivate high Ds. Those who measure high on the dominant scale when life gets stressful. These are at their best ready to take charge and quick to find the solution that can be implemented now. They are self-confident and strong-willed, and they value competence. As with every personality type, a D's strengths can also be his or her weakness. A take charge attitude can seem pushy and overly aggressive. A desire to drive ahead may supersede a thorough investigation into better solutions. A forceful, strong-willed attitude can be perceived as impotent or insensitive. Okay, let's continue. If you are a high D, play to your strengths. Just remember that others may need you to slow down. Provide at least a little explanation to your followers so they have the information they need to move forward. Make an effort to be sensitive to others and to listen and consider their input. That sounds fair. If you are not a D personality type, but you are married or parent to one, or you work closely with someone who is, understand that they have a serious need to be heard. And they really don't like being interrupted. Put this person in charge of coming up with the big picture plans. With a plan in place, they're happy to delegate the details to others so they can move on to the next challenge. Also note that D's greatest fear is being taken advantage of. Page number 82. Influencer. Where's the party? Let's get together. When can I come speak to you or to your group? Influencers, at their core, are communicators. They are energized by being around people, or rather, when people gather around them. They love being the life of the party, outgoing, fallible, and inspiring. High eyes love to talk and make friends easily. They prefer working on a team and are at their best in high energy environments where change is the norm. Challenges that high eyes need is to be aware of include. Okay, let me read that again. Challenges that high eyes need to be aware of include staying focused, because eyes thrive with variety, keeping on task for long periods of time can feel mon- let me get this word, mononymous. Keeping emotions in check. These passionate people tend to feel deeply, show their emotions, and make decisions based on feelings. Trying to please everyone, high eyes want to make people happy and fear rejection if they don't meet others' expectations. She says, if you are a high eye, use your excellent communication skills to your advantage, but rather stop and listen to others to win. Okay, wait a minute. Two. Okay. But remember to stop and listen to others too. I'm sorry. When you're faced with a big decision, rather than moving too fast, try to step back and consider the pros and cons. Using your heart is good, but being mindful of what's really important to you can help you avoid decisions that only please others. If you are not an I, you may view these enthusiastic, emotional people as fightly or inconsistent. Understand that change is part of their nature. It can be great team members, especially, she says the eyes can be great team members, especially when guided by clear structures and predefined systems that will help them see a project through to completion. Remember, they aim to please, so correct them gently and let them know exactly what you need from them. Page 83. Steadiness. That's why we're always, we wait, steadiness. That's the way we've always done it. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. Why can't we all just get along? Those whose personality profile includes a high measure of steadiness are likely to most loyal people are likely the most loyal people you know. They can be counted on when times are tough. They make both friendships and decisions slowly and carefully. Security is a key motivator for those who score high in S for that reason. They don't release change or unrest. They'll go to great lengths to keep the peace. Challenges faced by these rock solid individuals include internalizing negative emotions. These peace loving individuals avoid confrontation and often bottle up emotions rather than expressing them. Being passive aggressive, they're unlikely to speak their mind if they think doing so will upset others. But that doesn't mean they don't have strong opinions or feelings if they feel pressured to do something they don't want to do. Their response may be one of passive aggression, thinking the old way is the best or only way. Those high steadiness thrive with routine, so change can be difficult. Let's read just a little bit longer. Steady personality types work well in teams and are excellent when it comes to supporting others. They prefer to let someone else take the spotlight and are happy working behind the scenes. If you're an S, means steadiness, please remember that it's okay for you to express your opinions. You may not feel comfortable doing so as quickly or as loudly as a D or as an I personality, but you'll be much happier in the long run if you speak up when you feel strongly about something. If you are not an S, but have the honor of working or living with one, recognize that abrupt changes can be unsettling to these thoughtful, page number 84, individuals. If you know a change is coming, discuss it with them so they have time to adjust. Structure is important to those with an S personality type. Be aware that routines are an essential part of their lives. They aren't trying to confine you so much as they are working to control their environment. If you lead an S, you'll both be happier with their results if you can provide specific instructions, rules, and guidelines. We're going to stop right there on page number 84. But on read with me number 7, we will definitely continue on page 84, where we will begin with consensuous. Okay? That's a good one. Let's end this session number 6 with just understanding that she are explaining to us the different personality types where we can challenge ourselves to read along with that again and recognize our personality type. It has been such a pleasure working with you guys, reading for you guys, and reading with you all. I am truly honored. And until next time, we are super excited that we are digging deep, uncovering these wisdom principles, I call them, uncovering all of this power packed information about us as individuals, right? And we're learning about ourselves, our identity, our true core, right? The core of us, who we really are. So until next time, I will see you and be blessed. Thank you so much. And I should throw something at you. Ain't nobody reading for you to go to sleep. I looks over there to try to get the. Let me stop. Ooh, I need to stop that.